So many churches are switching from traditional monitors to a system like Avion or the Behringer Power and Play, which provides each musician with their own personal mixer. But that means that you need a pair of headphones to be able to hear yourself and the band. So let's talk about some good in-ear monitor options that all cost under $100. Hey, it's Dave Dolphin at practicalworshipblog.com, sharing ideas, tips, and practical advice for the everyday worship leader. And using an in-ear monitor system can drastically improve the overall mix for your congregation because your front of house guy isn't having to compensate his mix over all the stage volume, all the stage monitors and the wedges, all the things coming off the stage. Instead, he can provide a cleaner, better, in most cases, a quieter mix for your congregation. But now the hunt is on for your musicians to find good quality headphones that don't break the bank. So here's my review of some of the options that we use here at the church. And at the end of the video, I'll include one tip on how to get the best bass response from your in-ear monitor headphones. Now, all the options I'm going to share with you are single driver, meaning that each one of the earbuds only has one speaker for both the highs and the lows. All of them are going to feature an over-the-ear design that's a little bit more discreet for wearing headphones on stage. All of them are going to provide extra tips that you can switch out and see which one fits your ear the best. And all of them have a kind of a balanced bass response. They don't boost the bass. They're pretty flat across the board. And finally, all of them are going to have a 3-foot cable length and a carrying case. So the main headphones that we use here at the church are going to be the Shure SE215s. They cost about $99, and they really are the industry standard when it comes to budget-friendly in-ear monitors. They're tried and true. They provide good quality sound, and they also handle the wear and tear of using them on a weekly basis pretty well. They're louder than iPhone headphones. They really crank out a lot of audio, and they're punchier, especially around that 2K range, like the snare drum where that sits. They punch out really good. Good clarity, I think, on vocals, especially like the sibilants and hi-hats, places like that within the spectrum. And they handle loudness pretty well. Like when you get to the big section of a song and the guitars come in, all that loudness doesn't seem to overwhelm the driver very much. Now, the sound isolation on these are pretty incredible. You can have these in and someone can be standing right next to you and you can barely hear them. I always have to take them out of my ear whenever someone wants to talk to me and I have them in. They also have this detachable cable where you can remove the ear from the cable. So if the cable goes bad or one of your ears go bad, you don't have to completely replace the whole thing. You can just replace one thing. I've even been known to, if I had one pair where the left channel was bad and the right channel was bad and another pair, I could Frankenstein those two bad pairs together and get one good solid pair. Now, another option we started using at the church just this year is the M6 Pros from MEE Audio. And for $40, these are pretty comparable to the Shure SEs that we've been using. They're not as loud as the Shures. They're about the same volume as your typical iPhone headphones, but they're just as punchy, I think, like on snare drums and stuff like that than iPhone headphones. And they have decent clarity on the vocals and on hi-hats. And when the whole band comes in, guitars come in, they do pretty good with the loudness and it doesn't seem to overwhelm that driver. The sound isolation on these are okay. It's really hard to beat the Shures, but they're pretty decent. These also feature a detachable driver so that if your cable goes bad, you just replace the cable and you can keep this, or if you need a Frankenstein two bad pairs and to make one good pair, you can do that. And in fact, these M6 Pros come with a separate cable that has a microphone and a volume slider that you can use with your iPhone outside of the stage if you want to. One thing I will say is that the foam tips that come with these M6 Pros isn't really good. We use them after one weekend. Our standard practice is we use rubbing alcohol to clean them and get them ready for the next person. Well, when we did that, they completely deteriorated and we had to throw them away. So we're stuck with these silicone tips, but they work. They're good. The final type of headphones that we use here at the church, specifically in our student ministry with our youth band, is the Sport-Fi M6s by MEE Audio. And I'm including these for no other reason than they're $20. These do not have a detachable cable, but again, they're $20. If they go bad, you just get another pair. They have decent highs, somewhat decent lows. I think they're missing some of those lower mids than the other two options, and they don't handle the loud sections as well as the first two. When things really get cranking, they start to get fuzzy. But if you need a low-cost, budget-friendly option, $20, they're hard to beat. Now I'm going to put links in the description below to all three of these options so you can get more information, read reviews and things like that. But one thing I want to share with you, a tip to get really good bass response from your in-ear monitors, is spending time really trying out different tips and different sizes and different kinds, whether it be foam or silicone or rubber or whatever, because that tight fit in your ear is what's going to make for really good bass response. I remember the very first pair of in-ear monitors I ever got. They were based on a recommendation from a friend. They were Ultimate Ears, and I spent several $100s on these things. And when they came in the mail and I put them in my ear, I was super disappointed in the lack of bass response that these things had. In fact, I was like, my iPhone headphones sound better than these things. But I started experimenting with the different tips, the different sizes, the foam, the silicone, the rubber, and I finally found a tip that really fit in my ear well, and it made all the difference in the world. If you're getting too much bass and it's overshadowing the mids and the highs, it means that that fit is too tight. You might need to go a little bit smaller. But what's most common is not enough bass, and you need something that's a little bit tighter, that fits a little bit more snug in the ear to get the bass response that you're looking for. So take some time and experiment with the different sizes and the different types of tips for your in-ear monitors. In fact, Comply Foam is a company that provides additional options than just the ones that come with your in-ear monitors. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. Well, here at Practical Worship, we love sharing ideas and tips and practical advice for the everyday worship leader with videos just like this one. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. That way you know when new videos are uploaded to YouTube every single Tuesday. And if this was beneficial to you, you might know someone that might be in the market for some new in-ear monitors. Consider sharing this link on social media, on Facebook and Twitter and places like that. And for more great practical advice, check out practicalworshipblog.com.